Hello, I'm Araknie, and I've got an opening joke for you today. Because on this terrible moment, I can only bring you a story of disappointment. And its name is Bionic Commando. And shamefully for the history of Capcom, the release of this game and its counterpart on NES have not aged the best. This was supposed to be a versus review between arcade and 8-bit console, but the NES game locked me out of progress. It has no password system, so if you go somewhere and you're not supposed to, you're fucked. Utterly so. Why even allow this? Because the 80s was the Wild West of game design. You have this map, and you can go where you want, but then shouldn't have made it that way. And so I'm forced to do only an arcade review, because of 2 hours of progress lost hurt me. Also, since they are included in the same Capcom Arcade Stadium collection, I decided to try again the 2 Cabinet Ghost and Goblin games. They are not for me, especially the first of which in 2 hours actually made me sick to my stomach. Just a terrible experience. I can get to the end of Ghouls and Ghosts, but I can do the final level. You have to get through the entire last stage 2 times, and the second attempt you need to do it without getting hit once. So you get another new armor, a new weapon, and also a new level with the final boss. Apparently, because I have never seen it, the game just doesn't allow much space for you to not get it. Also enjoy 7 or 8 different bosses before that. Cool! All that to say that Bionic Commando has the same double loop system with a big difference. If you die, you respawn where you died. You don't have to rely on checkpoints like the above nightmare. Oh, will you look at that? It's a game I could finish. Funny how things go. It's a really simple title after all. You get to explore this semi-retro, semi-futuristic world where you need to kill the return of the Nazis. Always glad to do so. Don't need to even ask. Very simplistic stuff you need to do. Explore, move around and use the grappling hook. Oh yeah, you can't jump, but you can use that to move up or diagonally. It's easy as bumping into the constantly spawning enemies and getting killed. Easily? Yeah, it's an unstoppable barrage of them. I couldn't understand much of what I was doing, just slowly making progress, inching my way forward. Not the best, but it's funny chaos. Nothing frustrating. Level design is not very peculiar, but more about having lots of traps. They do add new ones each stage, but it's not really important. The entire game is enjoyable, but terribly generic. I liked the most the level where you have suddenly a time limit and you gotta stop a nuclear missile from launching. That's really fun and frantic in a way that really fits the arcade format. Your second loop doesn't change anything from the first. You just get an ending, enter your name, game over. Wow, fantastic. Also, you might get to take a new weapon and enjoy it for a few seconds. Maybe even more than 10 if you're really good at the game. Graphically is enjoyable, but also a bit anonymous. The 5 stages are varied and with different objects and patterns, but I didn't have time to really look at anything. You either move or die in this game. Or maybe you die anyway, for free. Musically instead, it's a masterpiece. I like all the stage tunes as much as the previous one. It's incredible and gives it a lot of fun vibes. How it should be after all. The existence of Nazism and fascism after World War II is silly and ridiculous even in concept. The soundtrack just reflects that obvious fact. In the end, Bionic Commando can only get a 6 out of 10. Many of its design choices are just barely touched upon. Many weapons don't get used and the entire loop system is a waste. Plus, the NES game is prone to soft locks and that disqualifies it from being able to be reviewed. I'm done with the 8-bit era after this. There's been others that have tested my patience. This is enough for me. Maybe in arcade games, but certainly not on consoles. And what could have been story better than this couldn't be told. If you wanna see me play the games that I will review plus some extra stuff, catch me on Twitch at Araknie Retro. It's my natural habitat, you see. Until next time, ciao ciao!